Okay. Oopsie. Didn't mean to do that. Alright. Yeah, this is true. Okay. Uh oh. Okay, might need to find a new place for these. Let's put these down here. Have add all of your character sheets right underneath where right underneath where all of the maps are, and I tried to activate one, and I clicked on your character sheet instead, so I'm moving those. There we go. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, our heroes are at a standstill. They discovered uh, who the victim's perpetrator was, and en route, they just figured out where he was going. They followed his steps up from the Wayfarer's Tavern up to the Angler's Rest White House, Lighthouse. Wow, I can't read. Where they discovered a hidden lair behind the areas which they had already scoped out. Before them was a massive statue, headless, and a man who they had only known as the Bard, slowly working his way through two corpses on the ground. Without a warning, they charged the Bard, immediately invoking the other two corpses in the room to spew black ooze and become the friends or the people who had been slain. They fought him to an inch of his life before he decided to retreat. They followed him out to the North Docks where they had found that he had stolen a ship, the Anne Louise, along with a retinue of guards who were currently stationed on the ship as well. This is where we pick up. What are you doing? You know what? That's fair. Yes, the only person who ran down to the docks was Aurora. he he was on the ship. All right. You you talk the last time you talked to anybody at the docks, you talked to Tosco. Okay. What'd you do? Is it a big enough mistake that you can't fix it or what? Ah. Ah. Okay. Yeah, that would probably explain why you were doing so much damage. Yeah, fair. Mm, some of these tokens just not doing it for me. Okay. Once you get about halfway, um, you start to hear a commotion coming from the dock as people are starting to gather and swell around where the area near the North Docks is. You're able to push your way through the crowd before you find a an exhausted and currently unconscious Aurora laying on the ground as you see the tiny speck of a ship in the distance. Uh, uh, Visas. There you go. You, yeah, yeah. Currently, you are unconscious. You, Ren, who is currently standing next to you, she just passed out. I'm not sure if it's due to the shock or to. Wow, you all look really worn. Did something happen? you see a look of terror as Ren kind of absorbs the situation. Okay. Um, this makes things much more difficult. Did who was this assailant? I wasn't at I wasn't at the tavern the night. I was. Hmm. And she. Um. Colm, I'd like you to make an Arcana check. Okay. From what you could tell, yes, it was either a disguise self or an alter self spell. With an insight check, you can definitely tell that Ren has something else on her mind. Tosco was on the ship. You don't see Tosco. She points out. You point. She points out to the ship in the distance that's slowly getting smaller. He was investigating when an unknown man came in and goo beasts attacked the rest of the crew. They and you see that she's trying to choke down a little bit of worry. There are a few like half prepared ships, but nothing that's like ready and raring to go. Well, we have some people on their way, but I'm not sure that they'll be there in time. As far as we know, he could have taken them hostage. Tosco is formidable, but uh, I Tosco has a past as well. Just like, what the hell? Who is this man? Why was he allowed to guard us? Well, like a lot of the people around here, including the governor, He was a refugee from Atlas. And he proved himself to be capable, but beyond that, I don't know. Yes, it is. It is the island off in the north of the continent of Valandor that was abandoned 15 years ago during a calamitous event. Yes. Yes, that one. Ah, um, yeah. Um, so Atlas came back about 15 years ago. Yes. Um, with Atlas coming back, it was actually Thelch and Bell roll a history check. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, Thelch, within the last 15 years, a lot of weird things have happened since the reemergence of this island territory known as Atlas. Um, One of the biggest ones is there's now a second moon in the sky. Um, but something happened. Most people who were there don't like to talk about it. But something happened at Atlas that caused the entire island to be abandoned. That's pretty much all you would know, yeah. It's about almost 7 o'clock in the evening, so it would be getting dark around now. You would see. Let's see. There's that. It was. It tells me. So, the moon that you would be pointing at would be a waxing crescent at the moment. So it would be like a sliver in the sky. Yep. Yep. Bell with a four. You have no. You have no memory of there ever not being two moons in the sky, and the sound of an island in the north doesn't strike you quite right. Um, Not particularly. No, I'm worried for him. He's a good friend. Well, I mean, if you can talk to the locals and see if any of the ships at either the north or south docks are ready to go, that would be of great help. See if they'll take the mission to go and track them down. Yes, yeah. And she starts motioning over the guards that are in eyesight, and she starts whispering into their ears, and they nod and start walking through the town to see if they can go find other guards. Okay. Uh, Virga, but close. Hmm. Okay. With a four, you're you're more focused on the pandemonium as everyone's gossiping and trying to figure out what the hell happened around here. Calm. You're able to find some some shipmen who look like they are you know either done with whatever's going on and are trying to get back to work, or are just trying to avoid whatever is going on here. Okay. You walk over to one. He's a taller half orc man, um, who has very short. He's got a short top knot, like just at the top of his head. Um, Bristling muscles, semi tribal tattoos that are going down. Um, and you see that one of his tusks is snapped, and the other one is almost overgrown. Hmm. Hail and well met. Silence. Half orc. Hmm. Well, I can't speak for the captain, but I have a feeling that he's probably going to say no. We've got our own shipments to deal with. We've got our own deadlines to meet. If you if you're really desperate, I would try the South Docks. And he goes back to picking up things and starts to load them onto a ship, which, as you're passing by, you notice is called the Milkmaid. Okay. It doesn't take you too long to get down to the South Docks. The South Docks not nearly as populated as the North one currently. You see a few ships, which are currently in dock. There are two larger ones, one which looks vaguely exotic, and a smaller one, which you currently see is completely abandoned. Oh yeah, yeah. Like the crews are still, around. Some of them are just kind of lazing about. Some of them are, moving things back and forth. Um, are you trying to approach one of the ships? Yes. The Probably the elegant looking ship. There's not somebody holding a clipboard, but there is a guy in a very impressive looking cloak that goes down past his knees, with a capuchin monkey on his shoulder, who looks like he's giving orders. A what? And a monkey. Yes. What can I? Not really. We just arrived today. Good heavens, no. Had I known, we would have stopped at a farther north port. I don't mean Northport as in the northern docks. I mean north as in a different port altogether. North as in Creighton, or Farwater. Well, good luck. Like I said, we just arrived today. We have to drop off some supplies, and we'll probably be here for a few days. I wouldn't expect that we would be leaving anytime soon. As dire as this sounds, I can't imagine that my crew, who are currently very seasick, would be willing to go on a. Where did you say he was going? Ah, so you don't know where he's going. I I'm not sure that my crew would be very appreciative of me taking them back out onto a sea voyage without knowing where we're going. I'm sorry, but I don't think that we can help you. Okay. Okay. There's three ships in port at the moment. There's a larger one with a set of crew, and then there's a smaller one that doesn't seem to have a crew at all. Which one are you heading towards? Okay. Okay. So you start making your way over to the smaller ship. And as you're passing by the back, you see written in handwritten, which are also kind of weathered and starting to disappear letters. The ship is called the Mischievous First Mate. And like I said, it looks completely abandoned. Um, roll an investigation check. Hmm. Um, Calm. The only ships that you've ever been on have either you haven't been down to the ballast deck or they've sunk. So you can't really be a good judge of character as to which ships will float well. Bell, you're surprised to find that it does look as though it would potentially float for a duration. It doesn't look like it would probably last very long against the high seas, but long enough for whatever trip you may or may not be planning. Yeah, although you see that the gangplank is not extended, it's on the ship itself. You're gonna try and Bulbasaur your way onto the ship? Okay, how would I want you to do this? Make a make a dexterity check first to see if you can get the thorn whip around the ship itself. Um, how tall would the ship be? Um, it's probably a good 5 or 10 feet. Well, not 10 feet, like 5 or 6 feet above your head. It's okay. It is. I will say it's like 5 feet away from the dock itself. You'd have to make an acrobatics check with disadvantage because you're trying to jump from an unsteady platform. Okay. Make another dexterity check. See if you can grab that. That might be a little bit harder though. If he hadn't already rolled, yeah. Yeah, you're able to yeah, he's not exactly huge. You can prop him onto your shoulders pretty easily. He's kind of nestled awkwardly on your on your wings, um, and it's getting a little bit annoying. But you've got him up there. Yeah. Trying to get every number under 8. You've gotten a 4, a 7, an 8, and a 5. You try and. Okay. That would be acrobatics with disadvantage. So you are able to very carefully stand on Bell's shoulders, and as you go to jump, you feel his body start to give as you don't get as much depth as you were hoping, and you come up short and you end up splashing face first into a pool of water about 2 feet away from the ship itself. You're now in between the dock and the ship. Yes. Okay. I'm not gonna make you roll. This has already been a shit show enough. Yeah. So as you're pulling as you're pulling him up, you start to see Colm, you start to see a man start to walk up behind Bell. And as he's pulling you're pulling him up, you see a man wearing very weird, almost like how would I put it? Like oxidized copper. Like the green of the Statue of Liberty. He he's he's got this weird armor on, and you see this octopus that's sitting on his shoulder. And he's, what are you doing? Well, there is no captain. This is my home. Yes. Well, I'm not sure if this ship is the one you're looking for then. Hmm. Well, um, do you. He's human. Yes. Well, Are you are you gonna pay me? Well, my services come with a fee. Let's say 500 gold pieces. Yes. Deal. Deal. Well, you gather your friends. My name is Dog Silverforge, and this is my pet octopus Weenie. Weenie. It's camera. It's a man holding a camera. Um, for a ship itself, probably not. For the time of a crew and the the expenditure, it would probably cost, depending on what you're shipping and what you're doing, somewhere between 50 and 500 gold. Yes. All right, but remember you said 100 gold. I'm not going lower. Well, then my ship is off the table. You see him cross his arms, and you see I might be willing to go lower if there's a fight. Hmm. Hmm. Well, you didn't say that I had to be a part of it. Well, fine. We'll work out a deal. Just go get your friends. Yeah, it's a lucrative business if you can get into it. Okay. With that, we're going to take a quick break while Travis goes to do something. I am going to try and quickly unbox my fan and plug it in because it is so fucking hot in this room. Oh, I can already feel a noticeable difference. All right. Is everybody back? Ah. Alright. You know, if I had some, maybe. I mean, same. Oh. What happened to the game? The game has disappeared on both my DM screen and my camera screen. Might need to might need to reload everything quick. Yeah, yeah, I am. Yeah, I just haven't gotten around to actually, what's the word? Editing it because it's in four separate chunks. Yeah. It's so big, and the recording stopped three separate times. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, it was because I had no space in my hard drive. I've cleared up plenty of space. I now have like 50 gigs to play with instead of 5. We're all good. It is. I do, but one, it's a hassle. Two, it costs money. Web browser does not currently support WebGL rendering, which is required for Foundry. What? That's weird. I don't know. So, okay. I'm gonna close out Foundry quick. See if that helps. Cause oh, yeah. I hate that. Like halfway through the game, it's like, oh yeah, this WebGL thing that you're supposed to that you you're using. Yeah, we don't like that. Could you stop? Could you stop doing that? That'd be cool. Thank you. Oh, I know I don't. Don't go in there as me. Don't. I. I'm currently updating the software. Don't you dare. I'm gonna let passwords to everybody and make sure that nobody gets in. Yeah, that might be why we're having crashing issues. don't open Foundry often, okay? It's pretty much only when I'm making things. Wish it would just auto-update. That would make my life a hell of a lot easier. Which one is this? Oh. Everything's trying to download at once and it's not responding. Okay. Hey Ben, how are you coming on the Monster Hunter stories? Yeah. It's a fun game. Yeah, I hate that. I just call them Pokemon. They're like monster besties. That. I think Foundry updated. Yep, there we go. Now let's try and open things up. Yeah. It's also kind of weird that there's a bunch of different monsters in the same nest. Alright. I think the server should be back up for everybody. Whoa. Whoa. The fuck? Hello? Okay. My computer went haywire for a second there. Making sure that everything is still working. Let's see. Close that. That's still running. That's good. Okay. Yay. I have one named Lord with an E. Spelled like the singer. Monster Hunter Stories, Wings of Ruin. Yeah. It's a Monster Hunter game. Oh yeah. Very much so. Yeah. It's a Switch or PC game. Monster Hunter World, very good game. That it would have been like whenever the last time I played was, which I'm now kind of afraid to open anything on my computer. Let's see. Monster Hunter, January 17th was when we beat the game. Well, yeah, I was about to say, don't say a year because that makes it sound really sad. It was. Yep, it was. We beat Nergigante and then we just steamrolled the rest of the game. Yep, that's me with Beat Saber. For some reason, every time I leave Beat Saber, I come back stronger than ever. All right. So my DM page doesn't want to work, but I can do everything from the camera, so it's fine. Assuming that the camera doesn't die on me again. We'll see. Yep. Alright. We Gucci. Okay. So where were we? You guys were on your way to Avirga's arms, yes. Felch, you would have brought Aurora to her dad. Pretty much throughout that entire last split the party segment. Um, and as you approach with Aurora unconscious in your arms, Tosco looks as like in greeting, and then you see horror engulf his face as he sees his daughter unconscious in your arms. What happened? What? Is she okay? Okay. Okay. Well, there's a bench right over here, and he begins kind of motioning over to a bench where he usually rests his tools, and he starts clearing it off and uh, puts down his like like starts dusting it off and has you lay Aurora down. What what happened? Why is she exhausted? You you let my daughter near a murderer. Okay. You at least got the guy, right? You. Let me be clear. Let me clear this up. You chased a murderer. You fought a murderer. And then you let him get away. Like, Visas, do you understand how asinine that sounds? You let my daughter anywhere near this thing in any fashion. Like hell she can. So like hell she can. If if that will keep her safe, yes. Yeah, but I can't lose her like I lost her mother. I get that. Try. You know what? You're right. You know what? Hells, I would have done the same thing when I was her age. Just promise me one thing. She gets back to me safe and alive. He he takes your hand and then grips it with the strength of a father who's lifting a car to save his child. And with his other hand, he balls it into a fist and punches you in the face. You're not dodging? You're just gonna take it? Okay. You take 4 points of damage as he decks you, and you like right in the cheekbone. I'm holding you to that. And believe me, if she comes back with one hair missing, I'll give you worse than just a punch. There we go. Just wondering why Bell's speaking was coming out of Helch. Okay. Um, is there any more conversation to be had, or are you just waiting until the rest of the group comes in? Okay. Yes. 100%. So, about 10 minutes after this conversation takes place, Bell and Colm arrive at Avirga Arms. You find, as you walk up, you find Tosco, her father, sitting over Aurora as she's laid out on this bench. He Tosco has, yeah. This is the question. His, yeah, his feathers ruffle slightly. Aha. Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, you're looking down. Whoops. Need this. You're looking down this way. You know, looking. Yeah. Another. Yeah. Yeah. He's probably sitting at the corner here. Staring this way. Yeah. Out of the corner of your eye, just to not make this any more awkward than it already kind of has been. Um, you see them walking down the street from the way of Avirga's arms. It it's currently not open, but there is a balcony with chairs and seating and stuff. Yeah, the little patio area. Ah, yes, it is. Ta-da. It is shift click. All right. So you sit down. There's a guard who's standing here just to make sure that there's no funny business, but beyond that, he doesn't really seem to care a whole lot. Uh, yeah. Go right ahead. Plus, minus one. Um, you don't know of a dog, silver forge, and a weenie. Um, but you do know of the ship that they're talking about. It's only been here for about a month or so. The mischievous first mate. Oh, might help if I don't have caps lock on. I also now realize I don't know how to spell mischievous. Oh, it's IE. That would be why. About a month, yeah. No, it seems to just kind of sit at dock. Nobody really. No. All right. So you taking a rest period? It, yeah. Hello. Hello. Uh. Um. May. No. You could. No. This is a different guard. He. This is a new cycle. These are questions. These are very good questions. Um, actually, roll an insight check against what the guard was saying. He he is lying out his ass. uh, yeah, yeah, you would. His name is Will. You also happen to know that Will has a very pretty young girlfriend in town that he likes to write poetry for. It's Roxy, but yeah, he looks at you, kind of side eyed, looks at the money, slowly reaches for the money, and then underneath his guard jacket pulls out a half crinkled piece of paper and sets it down and takes the money and goes back to where he's standing. As you're writing this, you start to see that like there's starts of poems that are like kind of start like halfway written out and then scribbled out. You 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 just remarked at how good of a poet Will is. In reality, he is dog shit. He is not a good poet. He's trying to rhyme words that do not rhyme in the slightest. His phrases make no sense whatsoever. There's no flow. There's no ebb to anything that he's doing. It's just kind of words on a paper. But his girlfriend thinks it's cute, so whatever. All right. Can do. All right. So you guys, I'm assuming you guys are heading towards the North Docks. Okay. So you make okay. You make your way to the North Docks where Ren has gathered up six guardsmen. Um, One of them being one that you would recognize right away as Aelwyn, the guard that you dealt with on the second floor of the Wayfarer's Shore. Yeah. Um, the rest seem to be either really young or really old. There's kind of no in between. The younger ones probably are, well, like the younger ones are like either really green and don't really know much about the wide world, and this is they're using this as an excuse to go and see the world, kind of like studying abroad, or they're old and they don't really have much else to live for. Ren sees you approaching. Yeah, over here, over here. She ushers you forward. So I was able to get a few people to mount a rescue. Um, have you had any luck procuring a ship? Okay. And is it just the three of you going as well? Well, it's better than nothing. Tell me, which ship did you end up getting your hands on? And she kind of gives you a weird look. Really? I haven't. Hmm. Huh. And you say that you talked to the captain? You know, that would explain it. That ship, that ship has been in dock for a month now, and nobody understands where it came from. But the the dock rental is paid on time, so we just kind of let it go. I don't know. We just see a bag of coins that appears at the rental place at the Shipwrights Guild, with a name for the mischievous first mate. That's about as much as we get. Like, ooh, somebody's talking to some. Oh, it's me. Well, actually, can you tell me what the captain is like? It, you said he's reclusive, but she she's did did I did I hear that right? Did you say an octopus? Huh. Well, it's that. Well, he sounds like a colorful character. It's up to you. I think if you have a penis growing out of the top of your head, might also have something wrong with you. That might be a little bit more of a cause for concern rather than the shape itself. So it's like a Japanese like farmer hat to you. It's still a mushroom growing out of your head. What a nickname! His nickname is not Dickhead. All right. Well, these do you have a time for leaving, or are you planning on going right away, because the longer you wait, the farther he gets, and we have no idea where he's heading. Yes. That Yep. Okay. So you start heading down to the docks. The guards file in behind you for the first leg of the journey down to the South Docks. So from here to about here, where they start heading off towards the guard barracks. Oh, we are. We're just going to grab a spare change of clothes. Our armor doesn't really give us jurisdiction overseas. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, we won't be going unarmored. Wow, two natural 20s in a row. Goddamn. um. So, Colm, being as this is the first set of guards that you've interacted with in years, you have no fucking clue. They could be going to get a spare change of clothes because their armor doesn't hold weight overseas. Or they could just be lying out their ass and they just don't want to go. No idea. Yeah. Bell, you're pretty easily able to pick up that they're telling the truth. And Felch, you, having traveled as much as you have, uh, kind of know that each town has its own guard, and each province in Unimark has its own militia. So if you go outside of the area that the governor of Angler's Rest, is in charge of, they no longer have jurisdiction. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Meet back here. Meet at the Virgas in 20 minutes. Okay. And they all start hiking it to the guard barracks. It's around this time that Aurora, you start to wake up. Not from not coming out of a restful sleep by any means. You would get a short rest for this. Um, but your dad is sitting over your bed, and yes, yes. Um, and your your brother has his finger underneath your nose, like trying to trying to get you awake. Hey, see, I told you it'd work. So he looks at your dad. Your dad pulls out two copper pieces and hands it to him as your brother starts to walk away. What? He said it wouldn't work. He said it would work. I had my doubts. I was wrong. Your dad said, he said it would work. I had my doubts. I was wrong. Well, your friends dropped you back here around 2 hours ago. Said something about, meeting at Wayfarer's Shore. Who? Oh. From what your friends told me, yes. Yeah, the news has started to spread through town. Sounds like quite a few guards, including Tosco. We'll say yes. Roll a strength check. Yes. Okay. Roll an intelligence check then. Hot damn. All right. So, not fully realizing that you're still in your armor, you punch the wall and your glove activates and it breaks a hole in the wall as it goes flying through. Your dad's looking at the hole in the wall and like shakes his head back into it. It's like, so your friends, how should I put this? they they convinced me to let you go. I think that's the plan, yeah. But hell's no. But I I can't keep you here. Visas knows that it's not what your mom would want. And you know what? Seeing as though there's a pretty new portcullis in my wall, think you'll probably be doing just fine. Yeah, and yeah, I'm amazed that it works as well as it does. Just and he looks down at his hands, which are kind of folded into each other. Just just promise me you'll be safe. You know he's going to get into trouble, especially with you not around. That too. It, about this time, you hear a knock on the door. It is you, yes. Uh, we're fine. We're fine. Yeah, yep. I mean, he he had to say goodbye to his brothers and sisters too. I'm sure it won't hit him too hard. Yeah, you got a point there. Yeah, go say goodbye to the little shit before you go. Probably make him feel better. Oh, and don't tell Samoon that I called his son a little shit. He would kick the ever living hells out of me. I, you know, you felt worse after Benders, but you're not feeling great. Yeah. You see three lovable idiots standing at the door. Not a whole lot. You've yes, yes. You've been out to the coast more than once. Just along the shore. You've never been on like a long term like voyage. Ugh, words. Um, just because your dad wouldn't allow it, and it you've never really needed to. So it Oh boy. Uh, okay. So yeah, you're able to gather yourself and start making your way over towards Salmon's Baubles. And the shop is the same as it's ever been. Magical items galore, uh, and a very bored looking Tamun who is manning the front counter. Uh, Tamun, as you're walking in, sees that and immediately like bounces out of his seat. Like, Aurora, what are you doing? My dad's gonna be pissed. Put that out first, okay? If my dad smells any of that, I'm gonna be grounded for 2 span. Um, yeah, sure. What's going on? I About the murders? Yeah, I mean it's kind of hard to miss. Seriously? Did the guard? How did the guards let him get away? That's a weird way of saying that. Oh, well, okay. Wow, I mean, that's great. You're getting to go on an adventure. Yeah, I mean, it's something that you've always wanted, right? Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, I'd come. I'd come with you, but my dad would kill me. I mean, That won't be hard. Just lock him in a room and he'll be fine. Yeah, okay, I can do that. But you have to do me something in return. If if you see my brothers and sisters out there, tell them to come visit once in a while. I mean, I can't be the only one that gets dad shit. Especially especially Tor, because if Tor, if he's around, then all the problems are off my case. Okay, that's good to know. All right, well, yeah, okay. Yeah, take care of yourself, okay? All right. Yeah. Okay. Um, you get to the docks. Uh, as you see your friends who are currently haggling with an old man with an octopus on his shoulder. But you said 100. I want 100. But your friends did. And that's what concerns me. If you are going to say, hey, we'll just give him a bunch of money and then we'll just rescind it, that doesn't work for me. I want the money. Yeah, yeah. I don't think so. Hey, he looks at you up and down in your armor. And well, okay. You look like 100 gold. The rest of them, eh. Um, how about 90? I don't fight, and you guys can sleep in the captain's cabin. The ship, the mischievous first mate, it would be, I think, considered a schooner, which would be probably maximum 15 people per crew. Mm, Weenie, you got any input? And it just kind of waves one of its tentacles, kind of back and. Yeah, yeah, I know. I asked him that. Um, well, how about this? You give me 20 gold now. That way, I know that you're actually worth something. And then when you try and when you give me the heading and we go and we figure out where we're headed and we get there. You give me the other stuff. Just money, gold, whatever you got. We'll say another 40. Um, roll. Hmm. Roll. Roll a survival check. Okay. Compared to a lot of the ships that you work on, which are usually galleys and larger ships, um, it looks like a little rinky-dink piece of trash. But as you're looking at it, you're also realizing it looks incredibly old. Functional, but incredibly old. For well, yeah, probably 10 to 15 gold probably. Although you'd probably be able to charge that easily if any of you actually knew how to sail. Uh, my name is Dog. This is Weenie. It's worth a. It, hmm. Mm, Weenie. You see the octopus start to wave one of its tentacles again. Ah, fair point. Ah, you got a deal. And he holds out one of his hands. So he he takes it, looks at the gold, cinches back up the little sack that you gave it to him, and he's like, "You got yourselves a deal." And he turns, and the gangplank that was sitting on the deck of the ship. You see as he reaches out one of his hands, and his hand quickly turns into an octopus tentacle, and he grabs it and yanks it back towards the dock. Welcome to the Mischievous First Mate. Um, Depending. So the way wild shape works is you can turn into the animal, but you also gain that animal's intelligence. So if that animal cannot speak, yes. Oh wait, I'm thinking of polymorph. Weenie. Uh, Let us look this up. I would assume no, but that's just my thinking. Well, according to this, it's a thing that a specific type of druid gets at sixth level. Yes. It's something called wild speech. Uh, Squid. Squidward's a squid. I'm pretty sure he's a squid, being that his name is Squidward. Hmm. People. Yeah. All right. So, Dog has now let you onto his ship and is now as as he's let you guys on, the guards have come back and they're now boarding the ship and says, "So, um, are you bringing your own supplies too, or are you sharing mine? 'Cause I don't have a whole lot of food for people." I only have enough for myself and Weenie.
So unless you guys like salt chips and uh, starfish, I wouldn't recommend eating my food. Yes, probably not. No, probably. Yeah. Be What's the last B for? I'm talking. Well, I was more talking about in the bring your own food analogy, but yeah, sure. It doesn't roll off the tongue the same. Yes. Let's just all beat off. Um. So, a couple of them, the older ones, seem to pack a lot. They seem to pack a lot. Um. The the younger ones, not so much. They were just like, oh, let's go on an adventure, and they didn't really think ahead. But se- some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. All right. You now uh, you set off from the docks and you head out to the wider world. Um, here's a question. Would you guys like to play more? Because I have more prepared, but this is also a pretty good stopping point. Because otherwise, we're probably going to go into like 11 or 12. All right. I mean, you decided to have your character knock the fuck out. Yeah, I mean, that was a good one. I'm interested to see where things go. You've identified a bad guy. Yeah, that's very true. It was a very RP heavy session, and that's totally okay. Whoops, didn't mean to do that, but that's okay.
Yeah, well, you guys are starting to take on the world. Whether that allows you to stay in Unimark or not is up to you guys. However, as a oh, the Aelison Kingdom. Um, well, there would be a lot of backstory for one of you, and keep in mind this does take place 2 months before the beginning of the other campaign. So for you guys to like plan out to the day to be at the bar fight that the other campaign starts at, yeah, it'd be really hard, but it would technically be meant the bar fight that started the campaign. Way down in Herschel. Yeah, that was the Ellison Kingdom. Oh no! That's the Ariad Empire. Oh, that would be really difficult because those are actions that are set in stone. Like that's happened. The the Abyss Walkers. That was it. Retcon it all. So the Abyss Walkers in this new group are now rivals that are taking each other on. That yeah, that'd be really hard though, because the Abyss Walkers I are tied into another character's backstory. Yeah, they're tied into Fulas's backstory. Well, one of them is. That'd be weird. Especially then I'd have to bring Zach in, and that would be hard. Only a little. Yeah, you guys don't really know where you're going. You just kind of set off on a boat with a weird old man with a an octopus. an an old an old dude with an octopus who's just living in a boat. Also, just how quickly he was willing to take that deal. Because he was 100% just bullshitting you. He was just like, oh, they're just like they're trying to make me leave my boat. Fuck them. I'm just gonna ask for an exorbitant amount of money, and you're like, oh, we can offer 100 gold. He's like, wait, they're not kidding. Yeah, I mean, I guess you'll see how well his navigating works. Not at all, actually. Yeah, it comes down to the roll of the dice and also whether or not he has past experience or whether he just lives in the ship and the ship goes from place to place. I mean, he lives. He he uh he does just kind of live in a boat, so we're stealing this legally because the guards are involved. Yes.